Now we are beginning a cycle of very important races before the summer break. Where we are with the development of the Ferrari single-seater?
We have made quite a lot of progress over the last few months, and I think the last few races have indicated that trend. We hope that trend will continue in the next few races, and clearly that will be decisive on whether we believe we can still fight for this championship, despite being quite far behind on the points, or whether we will not be able to make it. So the next few races will be quite decisive in that aspect, and we need to see how they go.
We've been very competitive in Monaco and Canada. Do you think it will be the same in Valencia, and why?
Yes, that's quite true. We were able finally in Monaco and Canada to compete for the win, even though in the end the final result didn't quite arrive. I think that was due to two factors. One is the characteristics of the circuit, but the other one is also the development to which I was referring before. I think both contributed to our performance in the last few races, the last couple of races. I believe it will be possible to continue that trend in Valencia, because the circuit does have quite a few similarities, in particular with Canada. It's got some long straights, some hard braking areas, and some medium speed corners, and we feel that should suit a car reasonably well.
We tested a new rear suspension in free practice on Friday in Canada with Fernando. What was the outcome of this test, and what is the future of this update?
It was a positive test. For us, the tyres, and I think probably for most people in Formula One, are still fairly new. We are still learning about their best characteristics, and that suspension package was an attempt to better suit our car to the Pirelli tyres. So as I said, the test went quite well. The Friday of Canada was just an experimental trial run to verify whether our simulations had been correct or not. We now plan to introduce that more extensively in the next few races.
After Valencia, we come back to tracks where the aerodynamic efficiency is much more important, with fast corners like Silverstone. What we can expect from the updates we have in plan?
I think that it is true. This sort of circuit has been one where we've been weak before. In particular, for example, in Barcelona, we were very uncompetitive. So we believe that quite a few of the changes we're making, and we have quite an extensive package for Silverstone, should improve the car considerably in some conditions, and therefore enable us to be more competitive. I hope it will be to the point where we can fight for the win, but that's something we'll have to wait and see.
The team has seen some important changes in the top of the technical area. What is your feeling about the team's approach after a few weeks?
I think everyone is very motivated at the moment. People are working very hard and with very high determination. I think there's a lot of very disappointed fans around the world who are not happy to see us not leading the championship, not winning races at the moment. We are extremely determined to make up for that, and also internally to the team, every single person is also not happy if we're not achieving to win and to be fighting right at the very front. So the spirit over the last few weeks is one of extreme determination to get back to being competitive.
It is common sense that Formula One absorbs the life of the people who work inside the sport totally. Do you still have the chance to see what happens in the real world, and I think in specific to what's going on in your country, Greece?
Yes, obviously. It's true that in Formula One a lot of people think that it's the center of the world and they hold world that revolves around our sport. It's true we love it very much, we work very hard and we're very passionate about it, but we should not live just in a bubble within our sport. So yes, what you referred to, for example, my home country is obviously going through a very hard period. It is extremely critical on how to try to get out of that immense crisis. The only thing I would say, if I make an analogy with motor racing, is that to get out of a very difficult situation, one has to remain united and to go forward together to try and recover all the problems.
Name?
Fernando.
Andrea,
Age?
29.
40,
Where were you born?
Oviedo.
in Orvieto.
Are you married?
Yes.
Yes, with Michela.
What do you do in free time?
Sports.
I work, then I spend some time with my family, and I play football sometimes.
Describe your race engineer with one adjective.
Slow.
I would say he's a real champion, a genuine champion.
Which trait in him do you most appreciate?
Self-confidence.
He's very well prepared technically in driving, and he's very strong mentally.
What annoys you about him?
Being always on time.
Well, sometimes it's a bit difficult to understand really what he's thinking. You have to ask, you have to spend some time to get it.
Who is the cleverest?
Me.
Me, I think.
Who is the most handsome?
Me.
Him.
Who is the nicest?
Me.
Fernando.
Who win at cards?
I do.
Again, Fernando.
Who wins at football?
Him.
Myself.
Who has more success with the ladies?
Him.
Fernando, but just make a question that I can say me.
Who earns the most?
Me, I guess.
Well, no need to answer, I think.
What is more important, the car or the driver?
The car.
I think it's difficult for a very good driver to win if the car is not good enough.
Catching up through the field or managing a race from the front?
Managing the race.
As an engineer, it's much easier to manage the race, much easier, but emotionally, it's better to recover from the back.
Press conference or technical briefing?
Technical briefing.
For me, definitely technical briefing.
Have you ever hit him?
No.
No?
Have you ever thought of doing so?
No.
No, maybe I did it just when we were playing football.
How do you celebrate a win?
First smile.
Well, we hug each other and then we exchange compliments, and then sometimes we go out at night, we have a bit of party.
Who can list all their drink?
Me.
I think it's him, but he doesn't drink. Maybe he doesn't drink because he doesn't hold it at all.
Have you ever played a trick on him?
No.
Not really.
Him on you?
No.
Yes, he does.
Say something you have never told him.
In Spain, you can eat much better than in Italy, even if you don't think so.
Fernando, Barcelona team is better than Real.
The thing he says most to you on the radio.
Good boy, good boy.
Okay, Fernando, start map off, start map off.